Hey everybody, it's Dana and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm playing with some Deco foil and I'm making a birthday card for a special someone in my life. I am making my 50th birthday card for my twin sister, and I thought I would do some ink blending and work with some gold Deco foil. So let's go ahead and get started. I am using 3 colors of Distress Oxide ink: Cracked Pistachio, Lucky Clover, and Evergreen Bough. This color combination is perfect for your St. Patrick's Day cards. So I am also using my makeup brush that I picked up off of Amazon. I did a review of that and I'll link that above so you can go ahead and check that out. All right, so now I'm going to grab some of that cracked pistachio, and I am working on my Tim Holtz glass mat. I absolutely love this mat, and I really like it because I can do any kind of ink blending, alcohol cards on here, and it wipes up perfectly. As you can see, I have a really nice soft color, and I want to pull that color down just a little bit more because I want to try to have an even spacing of these 3 colors. Using these makeup brushes make it so effortless to get your colors to blend well. I'm just going to add on a little bit more of that color, and then I can go ahead and clean this off. The way I clean it is I just grab a scratch piece of paper and then just go back and forth on that paper, and it takes away the color. Next, I'm going to come in with that beautiful Lucky Clover. This is a color I do not use a lot, but every time I do, I just fall in love all over again with it. So I'm just going to bring that in right along the bottom of that cracked pistachio. And again, I'm just going in circular motions back and forth across the card. And then you're going to kind of see me change direction on this. I'm just going to swipe back and forth, no longer going in circular motions, just swiping back and forth. This gives me a better gradient on my cards, and I have a tendency to do this to kind of like flatten out the color and feather out the line when I'm doing multiple colors. Again, all I need is to take that scratch piece of paper, run my little makeup brush on it until I get rid of that color, and then I can go into my next color. You don't have to have several of these makeup brushes to use with any of your ink blending. Next, I'm just going to swing my card around, and I'm just going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to pull that up to meet that Lucky Clover. Now, this Evergreen Bough is another color I do not use very often, but when I do, I'm like, why do I just have it sitting there and I'm not using it? It's a pretty like greeny gray, greeny blue color, and it's so pretty, especially like on masculine cards. So it's gorgeous. So as you can see, I just went back and forth right along that line just to get that color to blend a little bit easily. As you can see, it does a perfect job with these makeup brushes. I would just clean that off, and I do want to go back into that cracked pistachio. I just want to deepen up that color just a little bit more. And the paper that I'm using today is Bristol paper. I find that my alcohol inks, and especially the Distress Oxides, really work well on this paper. So I'll go back and forth just to smooth out those edges, and look at that. We have a beautiful Distress Oxide inks. So I want to go ahead and clean off my mat. Perfect glass mat. All I need is water, which I keep right on the edge of my desk. And I have a rag that has a lot of watercolor on it. And then I can just wipe all of that Distress Oxide ink right off my mat, and it's nice and clean and ready for me to move on. Now, since I have these colors down, I do want to add some gold to this. So I'm using my Finetec palette here. This has several colors of gold and a silver. I will use that water bottle that I have again. I'm just going to squirt some of that water on there, and I'm going to grab a large paintbrush and start mixing that together. Keeping that water bottle on my desk has been a lifesaver. I don't have to keep getting up, trying to fill smaller bottles or like my little containers when I go to watercolor. I just grab that bottle. I have a little bit too much water, so I'm just going to take my rag and dip it right in, and it's going to suck up a lot of that water for me. Now, since I have the color nice and wet, and you want it to be really, really creamy when you go to splatter this, because I really want that color to hold up. I'll just go ahead and start tapping my brush. Now, there's several ways you can do this. You can do this with a larger brush, a smaller brush. I just have a tendency to go for like a round 6 or 8, just because I know I'm going to get some really good splatters on there. And I also like to use the tip of my brush to go ahead and put down those little dots. Sometimes when you do this splattering, your dots aren't really big. So just remember, you can create your own with this gold paint just by tapping down the tip of your brush. I'm just going to add a couple more in there, and then whatever's left on, I'm just going to kind of tap all over the back of that card. And look how gorgeous this gold looks with all of those shades of green. Now, since I pretty much have everything where I want it, I can go ahead and move this out of the way, but I want to bring this card panel up to you so you can see how beautiful that gold is. Doesn't that look nice? Okay, we are now ready to work on our next step. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside and pull out my Deco foil. I'm starting with the foam adhesive from Deco foil, and this makes it super, super easy when you want to add foil to your cards, and you also want it to be like a sticker. So I'm just going to pull off one of the adhesive sides of this foam adhesive. And it's really, really sticky. So this is perfect if you want to add glitter, if you want to add pretty foils. Next, I'm going to grab myself a sheet of that gold foil. Now, all I have to do, because you don't need a laminator with this, I just need to lay down my foil because I have all that adhesive already on that foam. And then I can just go ahead and rub it in. This is great if you do not have a laminating machine and you want to add some foiling to your card. So I'll go ahead and do that. And then all I have to do is I'm going to measure if I have enough of that gold foil for my 2 dies. It's a 5 and a 0 because, like I said, it's going to be our 50th birthday. And now I just need to cut this down. I don't need the rest of this, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim that off and set it aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and pull back that foil. So I'll just take a corner and I'll pull back, and look how pretty that is. Look how gorgeous. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you that you can go ahead and put more foil down if you missed a spot. Just line it up across the bottom. Go ahead and rub it in. And then you can pull it off and it blends seamlessly into that. See that? Perfect. Now I can go ahead and grab these 2 numbers, and this is from the notable numbers from Concord and 9th. I will line them up right on that piece of foil, and then I can go ahead and run this through my die cutting machine. So make sure they're even. I'll go ahead and grab my plates. Now, if you guys are wondering about this plate, because I'm using a Gemini Junior and a craft mat to do your die cutting, I will leave a link above on a video that's going to show you how to save your plates. All right, now since I have that sandwiched together, I can go ahead and run that through my die cutting machine. All right, let's look to see what we have here. I'll go ahead and pull everything back, and then I can pop out my numbers. And I have this beautiful gold foil numbers for my card with no laminator needed. That's what I love about this stuff. Now I'm just going to go a little bit gentle right around that number 5 in the middle. And look how beautiful this is. Now with that double-sided adhesive, like I said, you can add glitter to it. You can also use the foil. If you have flocking, you can put flocking on it. It is super easy using those sheets of double-sided foam adhesive. Okay, so let's go ahead and bring in now the card base that we were working on. It's nice and dry, but I do want to add something a little bit more to that. I'm just going to grab myself some double-sided tape. This is Scor-Tape, and I want to make myself my own little design across the bottom of this card. So I'm just going to start making some stripes right along the bottom of my card. So I'll use my grid mat to kind of help me get everything straight. Excuse my head for the moment. Just want to make sure that's straight. Then I can go ahead and line that up and press it down. Another great thing about using this mat is that you can easily peel off adhesive when you're done. I will use my Ranger scissors to go ahead and clip off any of that extra. And then I'm going to go ahead and put 2 more rows of this double-sided tape. Okay, now all I have to do is peel up the top part of that release paper. And as you can see, I have 3 lines on here now. Now pull that off, and then I'm going to go ahead and lift my card off of my glass mat very gently because this is super strong tape. I can go ahead and fold any excess right around the back of the card, and then I can go ahead and get ready to put on the foil. Now again, I just have another piece of gold foil cut out. I'm just going to tuck that one more time. And then I can just go ahead and lay this right across the top. Again, I don't need a laminator for this. So I'll go ahead and smooth that on, and I'm actually going to take my bone folder and just go right along the lines because I want to make sure that this foil sticks to all of that tape. Now there are some brands on the market that I find don't work as well, and I shared a video with that, and I'll go ahead and put that up here in the right hand corner rather, for you to check out that video as well. I'll go ahead and pull this back. And look at that, I have these beautiful, evenly spaced gold lines. Go ahead and pull that up, and then I'll bring that up to you. Look how beautiful that is. All right, so let's go ahead and start preparing the rest of the card. I'm going to use my T-ruler. I'm going to bump that right against my card panel, just so I know that I'm going to be lining up that 5 and that 0 in place. So I don't want it too far to the bottom where those gold lines are, but I'm trying to get it right towards the center, and using a T-ruler really helps me line this stuff up. So now I can go ahead and peel off the backing. I'm going to be very gentle with this because right in the middle of that 5, the lines are pretty narrow. So I just want to be careful and not rip this. Now, like I said, there are several ways that you can use this double-sided foam, but I find using it with the gorgeous colors of Deco foil and the Gina K foil, all from Thermoweb, it just makes phenomenal die cuts. Super simple and easy. So I'll go ahead and place down that number 5. Now, when I do this, I don't like to press them down all the way because I want to give myself a chance to adjust the letters of my die cuts or the numbers of my die cuts. So I don't like press them down very firmly in the beginning. I just kind of like tap them into place. And then I can peel off the backing of this 0. And with not placing them firmly on my card, I have lots and lots of wiggle room on to move anything around on my card before it's permanent. So excuse my head one more time. I'm just going to go ahead and place that down next to the 5. Now I know I have that where I want it, but I do want to adjust that 5 a little bit. So because I didn't press it all the way down, I can just use my pick tool, kind of pick that up, and then I can pull that 5 directly where I want it. Okay, now this panel is ready for a card base. Look how pretty that looks. Really nice and clean and simple, but with lots of color and sparkle. All right, I'll go ahead and pick that back up off my glass mat, and I will grab my ATG gun. And you guys know me, the majority of my cards, 90% of them, are all done on the Neenah Solar White 110-pound cardstock. So I am going to be extra heavy with the gun there because I really want this to stick well to this card. So I already have a white card base folded in half, and then I'll go ahead and press this panel down. Now it's time for me to work on a sentiment. I pulled out my mini MISTI for this and some Neenah Solar White 80-pound cardstock. as well as just a easy birthday greeting. Now, I don't want nothing to really take away from the beauty of this card, so I'm using the You Matter stamp set from Simon Says Stamp, and I'm just going to use the happy birthday sentiment in here. Now, it does say happy birthday to, and it would have said you, but I just want the pretty happy birthday. So I'm going to put that into my mini MISTI, and then I'm going to grab myself a piece of washi tape. Now the washi tape is just going to fit over the to part of this sentiment. So remember, if you have sentiments in your stash and you only want to use a part of the sentiment, just grab yourself some washi tape, cover it with you don't want, stamp it with ink. Remember to pull away the washi tape, because I have on several occasions forgot, and then you can go ahead and press that down. This is an easy way to stretch those sentiments that you have. Okay, now I want to pull in my Simon Says stamp. These are sentiment strips. These are perfect for lining up your sentiments without trying to figure out how to get a straight line. I can never cut straight at all. If they gave me $1 million, I would lose it. I would not be able to get it because I cannot cut straight. So using these sentiment strips makes it absolutely perfect for me to get the right size strip. So again, I'm just going to use some of that washi tape, and I can go ahead and run this through my die cut machine. Now, perfect sentiment strip without it being too tall at the top or too short at the bottom. I love these sentiment strips. They're a lifesaver. All right, so now I'm just trying to figure out where I want this. Do I want this to run all the way across the card? Do I just want it to be right under the 50? And that's what I wanted. So I'm going to try to cut a straight line. I've messed this up twice already, so I'm really hopeful that I can just go ahead and just get that little pair of scissors in there and just cut that strip. All right, perfect. Thank heavens. Now I'm just going to grab myself some foam dots, and I am just going to cut these down right down the middle because they're going to be a little bit too wide for my sentiment strip. So I'm just going to cut those in half and then put them behind that strip. I don't want a lot of definition on this card, but I do want this tiny little sentiment to pop up on my card. Once I get all of those on there, the card is almost done. I'm just going to add a little bit of finishing touches to it, and then it will be perfect and ready for my sister. Now, I did end up making 2 cards because I just didn't know what kind of card I wanted to give to her. So I do have another video coming up that you're going to be able to see, and I turned that same design into a shaker card, but I used some other green distress ink color combination, so you're going to want to check that out. All right, now since I have that sentiment strip right across the bottom, and look how cute this card is. It's a very clean and simple card. But again, you guys know me, I have to add some sequins. So I picked up this 28 Lilac Lane sequins pack or container from Simon Says Stamp, and look how gorgeous those shades of green are. This is the perfect sentiment pack for any shades of green that you need. I'm going to go ahead and pop these down. I'm not going to use too many because I really want that deco foil, that beautiful gold deco foil to shine on this card. But you guys know me, I have to have a little bit of glitter or a little bit of sequins on everything that I do. Now, my sister's not like a really big sequins person, but hello, she knows her sister, and she knows her sister's going to add it. So I'm just going to pop that last one down, and I've used my Gina K Connect glue to place that all in place. And there we have it, my twin sister's first birthday card. I'll be sharing the second birthday card tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. And here is the card all done. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today. Please feel free to give me a thumbs up if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to me on all my social media platforms. I will see you guys in another video soon. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.